Hello guys and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. I have been very busy in between episodes doing a ton of work around the place, so I've got a fair few things to show you in the beginning of this episode. So first of all, the witch farm, you've all seen it now and a lot of you have left your comments about it. And first of all, I haven't used tripwires, that's obviously the better way to do this. I was just in a rush to set this up, so I just done the quickest thing that I could think of, which was shifting floors on a clock timer. So we're going to be removing this at some point in the future. And as well as that, I'm also going to be making this roof a lot bigger, so that it makes all of this area in here dark. And what that means I can do is remove these blocks here. And the reason that we want to do that is because spawning is initiated by air blocks, so the more air blocks there are around our spawning area, which is the top of these pads, then the higher the rates we are going to get. So by removing these blocks here, we're going to increase the rates, but at the same time we're going to let sunlight in, so that's why we need a big roof. So that's something I'll be doing in the future. Not sure if I'll get around to that this episode. Now the clock down here, I was having trouble with it, and I'm not sure if I showed you that in an episode, but my thinking was that the redstone was turning off when chunks were loading and unloading, you know, going through the nether and coming back round here. It turned out that the solution was kind of really silly, because I put one of these repeaters down the wrong way round. So I used to start this off, the signal would go around the corner here, it would come down to the repeater facing the wrong way and it would just stop. And because I never stuck around to watch the clock, I didn't notice it. So kind of silly on my behalf, but that's fixed now. So we're going to pillar up into the sky and have a look at all the work I've been doing around here, which is kind of hard to point out because it's all just half slabs, but you'll see. So I have some really cool news about this place. If you've been following Cube Hamster's LP, for some reason, there we go. He went 20,000 blocks out in one direction away from spawn, and then decided that he didn't want to set up his base there, so he had to kill himself to get back to spawn. But now he's going to be moving in with me. He's going to be, well, not with me, he's going to be my neighbour. He's going to be moving in over here at the witch farm. And this works out really well for the both of us, because I want to be building farms over here, and in order for those farms to be working, the chunks have to be loaded and someone has to be here. But my main base is obviously back at Avalon. So by him moving in here, it works out well for him, because he can use the witch farm and get a constant supply of redstone from it, and then he'll be activating all my farms as well, which works out really great for the both of us. So let's look at all the work that I've done. Done a huge amount of half slabbing off in that direction, as you can see. Been filling in all the little pockets of water as well. That takes a really long time. But if I do ever decide to set up a squid farm, which is a very difficult thing to do, I get the feeling, we are going to fill in all of the water as well, just in case. So over there, that little thing is the entrance to my caving area, and I've been doing a ton of caving. And now that I come up here and look at it, I felt like I was going in that direction, and it's quite close to the perimeter. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the caving that I've done is actually off in that direction and not making too much of a difference. But I have been doing tons of caving, very thorough, making sure I remove all the water, getting all the ores, removing all the mine shafts, just making sure everything is lit. And over on this side you can see I've slabbed in a huge area around here and all the way up there as well. The thing is though, it's just slabs, so it's kind of hard to see what I've done, because you've got, you know, no key landmarks to compare it to. But yeah, that has taken me just an absolute ton of time to do, but it's been fun. I've had loads of time off work, and that is going to continue over the next month or so, maybe a bit longer. So if you guys are cool with it, I plan on doing more Hermitcraft, maybe do 3 or 4 episodes a week, and do them on Thursdays as a frequent thing now. But who knows? It's never good to make plans, I think, because sometimes they can change, you know. But anyway, I'm going to go show you what else I've been working on. If you remember, a couple of episodes ago, I tried to send minecarts through the nether portals. Well, Dinnerbone came onto the server to have a look at that for me, because he thought that I was doing it wrong or there was a bug or something, and it turns out that there was a bug. The minecarts are supposed to be able to travel through portals, but a bug stopped that from happening. So if I press F3, you can see that we're now in 1.4.6 and Dinnerbone has patched this. So I've been doing a load of testing. I won't go into the details, but basically what was happening is I had a track going along here and I was trying to send it through, and what the minecart would do is always go on the opposite side of the track, which is really strange behaviour. and then I had two tracks side by side, and it would go onto that, and eventually I sort of figured out that you could put the track sideways rather than in a straight line, and the minecart would go onto that track. And then I dropped it down one block, and it still comes out of the portal and just drops right onto this track, ready for use. So I've been testing this. You can see I've also built a tunnel down here that goes all the way to the storage area, and we pop through here. We can have a look on the other side. It's the same setup on this side. You just put your chest down, minecart chest down here, push it through, and then when it gets on the other side it drops down onto that track, and it stays there until you go through the portal. And then when you go through the portal, it doesn't matter what direction it decides to go in, because it'll bounce off the wall and go back down the tunnel. So I've been doing some work at the desert here as well, just getting more sand. I've done a lot up the back there and some down the side here. It's kind of hard to point out what I've done because it all just looks the same, but I have been busy doing that. Yeah, so we should head back over to the main part of Avalon now. I've got some things to show you there as well. And something strange happened the other day on YouTube. I was trying to show a friend of mine a video of me, well, it's not me playing guitar, but it's a guitar song that I wrote a couple of years ago, and for some reason YouTube decided to publish it to my feed. So a load of you got to see that, and I was really surprised that all you guys liked it. I say all you guys, a lot of people liked it, it seemed. So I might post a couple more songs. I'm not sure if I want to yet, but if you do see them, then you'll know that's why. Yeah. So these chests over here are full of sand. When you send through a couple of these through the portal at the same time, or even with a gap between them, because there's no one on the other side in the portal for the chunks to load, they get pushed into the same spot, and then they kind of glitch out because they're stuck in the same place, and they go down the track all the way together. And the reason they're down there is because I didn't have this block here before, and they just slide all the way along the ground until something is in the way, like the netherrack at the back there. So that's another problem with these portals that I don't think I'm going to be able to fix. So you kind of have to send through one at a time, then go through the portal, and then come back through after, which is a bit of a pain. But it works, so I'm not bothered by that really. And we're going to do that with a witch farm as well, that I go onto the same track, so we can send supplies through the nether back to the storage area. So the other thing that I've been doing is the pathways here. You all commented on this a couple of episodes ago, saying that I should change the paths to the kind of natural and curvy, and I think I've done it wrong here. I'm probably going to redo this in a bit. I've gone for the straight diagonal, and it doesn't look that nice. I was trying out different things, having it sort of swerve a bit. It's really hard to do that sort of stuff when you're dealing with squares though, but I'm going to give that another try. And as well as that, if you saw my growing large trees tutorial, that was a comment that was left on the previous video. That was a really good tip, and people have since told me that it's even easier to do if you use cobblestone. Then supposedly the leaves can't grow into where the dirt is, so it has to grow taller anyway, and you only need a pillar on one side. So I'm going to be trying that out in a bit. This is what I want to do at the moment. I want to rip out these trees on the left here, get this path looking really nice and sort of curvy and natural. And another suggestion that was posted was to get rid of the torch spamming. Quite a few people said this, that I should remove the torches and put pumpkins and glowstone in the ground, and that is a good idea, but with torch spamming you kind of know that it's all lit up, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that really, because it means I've got to do a lot of F3 and checking the block light to see if any mobs can spawn around. But we will try it out and see if it looks better, and then I can probably decide if it's worth doing. But what I'm going to do now, as I've said, is remove all of these trees on the side, sort out the path, and then grow some big trees here as well. Now this looks a lot better. I love the way the trees come over the top here, so it's sort of enclosed as well, and we've got more variation on the side here, which always looks good. And I've redone this little bit here with the fence posts, and I've also put in loads of jack-o'-lanterns in the ground. A lot of you are suggesting this, and do you know what, it's a really nice idea. I thought the jack-o'-lantern heads would sort of stand out a lot more, but from here, like there, you can't even see any of them, apart from that one there, which is very visible. But yeah, they blend in quite nicely, the orange as well. When you do see little bits of it as you walk around, it's quite pleasant. So I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I think it looks good because the other two colours you're used to seeing are red and yellow, and if you mix those together you get orange. So over here you can see as you walk up, we've got one right under the tree there, I quite like how that looks. I might do that more often, put them under the tree stumps. So yeah, a couple of other ideas I've had is to put jack-o'-lanterns up in the trees so they glow a bit, but I get the feeling like if I were to do it in one or two places, I'd end up wanting to do it all over the place, which would then just be a real pain and probably not look that good. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. I've also been testing this out with cobblestone. I wish I'd have known. You know what, when you make videos, someone gives you an idea, you think that's something I could share in a video. You don't have a lot of time to test it out, so I spent a fair amount of time just testing it with the dirt around it, and I just didn't think to try using a different material or just one set of torches, which is kind of a shame because back in the day when I didn't do daily videos, you know, and I was a small channel, I had more time to think about these sort of things. But these days you just got to get on with it and make the video. So anyway, this does work. You've got to spam it with some bone meal a bit. There we go. That is a really nice big tree. It looks like it's grown right into this though, but it hasn't destroyed anything up here, which is good. So I want to maintain that. That's the original tree when we first came here. Oh, I'm going to have to spam that. And I'm probably... Oh, there we go. Just got enough. That looks like it made a small derpy tree. It did. It's probably because the one above is blocking it. So maybe we're not going to be able to put one there. Let's just... I'm going to remove this and get rid of all the leaves it created and just see what it looks like with this space open. So at the moment what I want to do is create another natural kind of border like we have here, just over on this corner here. I think I'm going to leave this bit exposed and maybe make that the way to get to this place, and then sort of create a circle around it so we have another little enclosed area. We could fill up a bit of this so there's a nice like row of trees going across here and then round to this big tree, and then as you come around the corner here, well, you could enter it from this way, but actually you could also enter it from just here. I'll have to see what looks right, but I think we need one more tree just here, and I've got to be careful where I put this. I think that's the best place. I'm not sure if I like that. It comes out too close to the path is the problem there. I might move that, but anyway, I've got a little bit of work to do as I've just described what I wanted to do there, and then we need to build another farm. Now I'm not too sure. I have a lot of ideas and I don't tend to write all of them down, and one of the ideas on my list is the chicken farm, which I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet. I've got a few different ideas on how to do that, so while I'm doing this I might try and find something else to do this episode. I want to get this next bit done for the tree we have here. But if you have any ideas for little farms and things that we could put in this area, please do suggest some in the comments. It would be great to get a nice list so we could fill this up with lots of cool things, because right now as I'm recording, you know, none of the ideas are coming to mind, which is really annoying. Should have written them all down because I had tons the other day. But as I said, I'm going to sort out this tree here and build a nice little circle of trees around it. Alright, this turned out really good. I'm happy with this. Check that out. Really nice and humble in here. And I got an idea when I climbed up here. I just wanted to check out what was going on up the top here. I've been planting lots of trees and none of this has been disturbed. And everything looks different from up here, obviously. But it looks very dark and dull, and that thing that I was talking about earlier about putting the pumpkins in the trees, or the jack-o'-lanterns, that was for the purpose of lighting it up down below. But what we could do, once this is all finished, is run around the top here and pick out the tallest trees, dig down a few blocks of leaves. In fact, why don't we do that just here? And then, actually I think we'll go one more, and place that there. And then put some leaves on top like that, and we could do that on the trees around here. Let's just go a little bit further away. Yeah, do you know what, I think that would look really nice if we done that around here. So it's not really to help with the lighting situation down below, but when you do see it from a different angle for whatever reason, I don't know why I'd ever be up here, I imagine from a distance as well it'd look really cool, like if you're over on the top of the mob spawner looking over here and all the trees were glowing. So that is something we could do in the future when this is finished. I've also done round the corner, and yeah, it's really simple, just put down more pumpkins here. So this is going to transition nicely now into our next area. I'm not sure, as I said, what farm we're going to be building. I haven't thought of any others, so I think we should take a trip to the Enderman farm, because I've been enchanting books. I'm sure you've seen those are in the game now. And do you know what, it takes a long time to enchant books, and because you can get an enchantment off of any type of, you know, all the different enchantments in the game, armor, weapons, all of it. It's makes it very difficult to get the one that you want. So this took me a long time to get, and look at this, you're getting Unbreaking 3, that's a good one to get. Some level 4s here as well. I actually got quite lucky now I go back and look. It felt at the time like I wasn't getting the ones I wanted. Sharpness 3, you'd really want Sharpness 4. But anyway, I was just having a chat with Hypno. What he says he does is he does these at level 14, so he gets lower ones and then he combines them together. Now it takes a real long time to get to level 30. Well, it doesn't, but it takes a long time when you're doing book after book. But to get to level 14, that wouldn't take as much time. How can I describe it? Like, the time it takes to get to 14 is a lot shorter. It's less than double it takes to get to 28, if that makes sense. So I think I want to go over there and do some more enchanting. I want to make some silk touch shears. I want to pick up some cobwebs. And I've also got a whole bunch of shovels somewhere around here. That's another thing I've done. I've moved all of my items into one chest. It's annoying having them all spaced out in that other room. That wasn't really a good idea. Yeah, see, I've got an efficiency 3 silk touch one, so we want to add another efficiency and unbreaking onto that. That needs an unbreaking enchantment, so these are actually going to be really good, these books. I've just got to enchant a lot of them at a lower level and combine them together. And another tip for you, I've always talked about how I'm doing my enchanting and getting picks, and things change in the game, but there's one thing here that I really overlooked that someone pointed out in the comments. Now, when my shovels are broken, I repair them with diamonds, which is really silly because you can repair them with another shovel, just one that isn't enchanted. So there's a tip for you. But I'm going to take a few of these items and some books as well and head over to the Enderman farm. Okay, here we are. The first thing that I want to do is mix this unbreaking with our efficiency 4, and then that'll be a decent shovel. And then I want to repair these with a normal shovel that isn't enchanted. I've got a feeling because of the fortune that I've tried to do this before and it costs too much on the anvil, which is really annoying because I tend to get a lot of fortune enchantments on shovels, which is a bit disappointing. I think we do it this way around. It wouldn't make sense to do it the other way around, and I'm really surprised at how cheap that is to do, just 9. That is pretty cool. I guess we could name that as well. Suma's shovel. So I had a feeling that I'd done this before. If I take our fortune 3 one and put a regular diamond shovel, too expensive, doesn't matter what way round you do it, even with fortune 2, you can see it's still too expensive, which is a bit of a shame because I think that means these ones are just going to have to go to waste. I'll use up the rest of their durability and let them break, because otherwise they're going to take 3 or 4 diamonds to repair. Now, what we want is shovels like this, efficiency 4 and breaking 3 that we can hold on to, and then they'll only cost 25 levels to repair, and that's the equivalent of 1 diamond. So that's what I'm looking to get in the future, and hopefully we'll be able to get them by enchanting some books. So I've been enchanting for a little while and I've got myself quite a few books here, and something interesting that I've discovered is that they've changed the way that this works. Now normally you used to get the exact number down here, see we've got 12, and if I keep doing this we'll probably get a different one, 16, there you go. Now when you used to block the bookshelves off with the torches, you always used to get an exact number, so they've changed something based on how this works. But as you can see, I've got some efficiency 2 ones here. I've got quite a few of those, which is good. And I'm breaking one, a silk touch, which is what I came down here for, another efficiency. So we've got 4 of those. We could combine them all together up to efficiency 4, which I think is a decent amount of time to spend to get that enchantment. And a punch one down there. Now this is really cheap to do. Just 6 levels, which is great. So I really like this enchanting system. I'm going to do this some more at this level and then maybe try some different level ones as well and see what other enchantments we can get. Okay, so I've still been doing them around level 13. I've noticed when I do 13 I seem to get efficiency more, but it doesn't come up that often. It's normally 12 or 14. But we've got some books here to combine, so I'm going to see how much this costs. 2 on breaking. Oh, okay. Right. I was under the impression you could join them together. I think what you would do is you enchant an item with Unbreaking 2 and then you would do another book of the same type. Okay, so I've got a shovel that we can use for this, and we've got some efficiency as well, so maybe we can make ourselves a efficiency 4 shovel with Unbreaking 3. That's probably going to take me a couple of trips back and forth to get levels, or maybe not. So we can combine those for efficiency 3, and the anvil just went right as I was about to say that we probably can't combine efficiency 3 with efficiency 2 to make number 4. So this is slightly flawed, this method. I think this might not be a good idea to get low enchantments on the books. So unfortunately I didn't really think this one through too much, but we are still learning, and I've been waiting for the charts that tell you all the different probabilities for enchanting at different levels to update, but they haven't done it for books yet. So I thought we would do some low level ones. This is probably going to be a waste because we can't combine them together, but if you get something like, oh, we're only getting sharpness at the moment, but if you've got something like fire aspect, well, you can only go up to level 2 with that, so that would be a good one to get. But yeah, it looks like most of these are just going to be a waste. So I'm going to head back anyway. We've got those silk touch shears, that's what we came here for really. And yeah, look, all of this is just a waste. Protection 1, not going to use that. Power 1 at level 7. Knockback 1. So anyway, we're going to head over to the witch farm and gather ourselves some cobwebs. So here we are underneath the witch farm in the caving system, and you can see I've removed the all of the wood from the mine shafts. And at last we have ourselves some cobwebs. I have no idea what I'm going to use these for. I'm sure I'll start thinking up some ideas soon, but all those times we've been using redstone and stuff, most of the things that I do revolves around survival, so I never really use these, but they are going to be really useful, and it's quite easy to get now. I can just walk around these corridors, I guess you could call them, after I've removed all the woods and just pick up any left over. I actually done that deliberately because I knew I'd be getting these before long. But that is it for this episode. As you can see, I have been really busy doing tons of off-camera stuff this time round. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I've been thinking about doing Hermitcraft more frequently at the moment because I have a lot more time to play. So if you guys like that, just let me know in the comments if you want to see more frequent episodes. They probably will be a little bit shorter overall, but as I said, more frequent. So as always, thank you for your support, and I will catch you next time.